What's up, guys? Hey, how we doing? So you can say a lot about Chase Sexton, but don't ever say that guy's boring. Holy moly, he made it exciting last night. That was a crazy Triple Crown finish. Webb, the racecraft, the legend grows. In GP news, Lucas Kunin has some sort of an injury. Sounds like he's going to give it a go in Argentina. So I will keep you posted on that. I'm going to try following the GPs a little bit closer this year. They got some bad dudes over there. Kai de Wolf, the Kunin brothers. Yeah, they kick off in Argentina, and I believe Lucas Kunin will be there, and he's going to give it a go despite his injuries. Remember, subscribe on these videos. They judge us on YouTube by subscribers. For some reason, a lot of you guys who have already subscribed get unsubscribed randomly. If you have subscribed, please double check it. If you haven't, I would appreciate it. I hope everybody is enjoying their samples of Nano Extreme. I'm telling you, this stuff is really good. Like RJ said, it's not going to fix an injury, but what it does is it offers you a non-pharmaceutical pain relief that really does work. If you want to try it, email me your information, chriscookseymedia@gmail.com. Please do it in a concise form. Name, address, and email, just like P. Davey, because I've been copying and pasting thousands of these, and when I have to do it it gets tedious. So if you could do me a solid and just put it in that form, thank you to everyone who already has. I appreciate you guys. But you will get your nano sample and tell me what you think. And if you run out of content, I'm telling you, head over to the Coach Rob YouTube channel. Coach Rob has all sorts of content. Crazy interview with Jeremy Martin where he talks about how he got left at the stadium by Star Racing. I mean, he was very candid in that interview. Coach Rob did a great job talking to him. And he's got the Amateur Podcast, the Vet Racer Podcast, and anything you want to know about physical fitness or body composition or how to get the most out of your physical performance, Coach has all that stuff. So head over to Coach Rob on YouTube.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
For those of you guys that know me, you know I'm a big believer in manifestation and making things happen. I truly believe with our minds, we can kind of create our own reality, and it's very true. And you have to be careful with it because, you know, that whole saying like, hey, are you going to crash? Don't crash. And of course you crash. It has to be directed properly. Last week when they gave Cooper Webb the trophy for the Texas round, I was like, oh boy, they are manifesting this for Cooper Webb. But then he had that crash on press day. There were rumors of an injury. We didn't know what was going on. And then in that first main, he really looked very average. He got sixth in a Triple Crown. Typically, if you get a 6 on the board in the first race, I mean, it's obviously possible to get the overall win, but it is very, very unlikely at that point. That's a big number to overcome. So for him to end up the overall winner, I'm like, dude, it was manifested. Cooper Webb and Racecraft and, well, Sexton. Sexton definitely helped out. That third race was so exciting. And I know everybody's like, make every round a Triple Crown. But let me give you a little stats here. So right now, as the series runs, it's 17 rounds with 3 Triple Crowns. That's 23 main events. That's a lot of races that really matter to get these guys out there. We already have injury issues. The attrition in this series is crazy. If they did all Triple Crowns, we're talking about 51 main events in a 17-round series. I don't know that we'll have anyone left. I like it the way it is. It's fun once in a while, but I don't think it's sustainable throughout an entire season. And could you imagine if we're at an outdoor round and it's muddy? What are you going to do? 3 rounds in the mud? It just doesn't work. I'm okay with the way they're doing it, and I love it when they have them. The only thing I want to change is these races. They need to have a few bonus points on there. I think since you're racing a significant amount of time, a lot more than you would in a normal main event, almost double. So you should have extra bonuses. I think if you win a moto or main, you should get 3 bonus points, championship points. If you get second, you should get 2. And if you get third, you should get 1. Theoretically, you could gain 9 points by going 1-1-1. I'm all for that. I think it's only fair. I mean, you're doing more work and more racing, you should be rewarded. So let's talk about Chase Sexton. And what he reminds me of is one of my college buddies. We would take trips occasionally. I went to Arizona State. We would go to Vegas occasionally to go have some fun, do a little gambling, just, cut loose. College kids having fun. We didn't have a ton of money. We'd all take about $500 that we had saved up. Keep in mind, this is early 2000s, so $500 went a lot further than it does today. But this guy was a big gambler, and he would immediately hit the tables. We'd all be having fun. And I remember almost always the first few hours, he would get way up. I mean, he turned his $500 into like 10 grand. I mean, I showed up about midnight like, dude, you're killing it. He's playing 2 hands of blackjack, and he's got $1,000 on each one, splitting, doubling. I mean, keep in mind, he started with $500. He's got over 10 grand on the table. I'm like, dude, get out of here. Go. I mean, it was almost like a fist fight. He was not leaving. He was not leaving. And I was like, okay, well, here you go. You're going to lose it again. He always did. He always did. That was the pattern with this guy. And of course, 5 a.m, I'm in the hotel room sleeping away. All of a sudden, he would always wake me up. Dude, I just need to borrow $100. What do you mean? I got to get back on a roll. I lost all that money. I'm like, you lost 10 grand. Oh, it's unbelievable. That is the epitome of how Chase Sexton races. He does not know when to leave the table. He's that guy with the cards on blackjack. See, if you don't know blackjack, 21 is a winning hand. But if you have 20 and the dealer has a 9 showing, you almost always win that hand. The worst thing you can do is if you have 20 and it's mutual cards, just split them. Chase, why do you keep splitting winning hands? Just ride it out. You won the race. You won the race. Stop being a degenerate gambler and just take the victory and move on to the next round, Chase. It doesn't matter. They don't have bonus points for winning these main events. There's no incentive. I mean, look at Hayden Deegan. Hayden Deegan knew exactly what he needed to do in that third one. If he had to, he would have caught Cole Davies if it mattered. But he's smart enough to understand it didn't. Chase, please, I wish you would understand this. I felt so bad for you. He took what would have been a 3-point lead, and he would be the sole red plate holder heading into Daytona, to 5 points down. We're talking an 8-point swing in the 450 championship. That is huge. I will give him credit, though. The way he was able to sit through that press conference and not just go Brock Lesnar and flip the table, I don't know how he did it. I honestly don't know. With the stupid questions that a lot of those guys ask.
Now that you've had a few moments to reflect, do you have any more to say?
No, not really.
I would have probably launched the table. Then they're making me sit there while Cooper Webb, the guy that just got everything that I just had, sitting there coming in late. I'm like, oh boy. You could see it boiling under his skin. If you get a chance, watch that press conference. I mean, it's hard to watch. I really think, after the first few questions, they should have just said, hey, Ken, Sexton, you guys can go. We'll just ask Cooper a couple more since he was late. Instead, they dragged him there the whole time. I don't know how this guy didn't just lose his mind. Like I said, I would have liked to seen him flip the table and go Brock Lesnar. Wouldn't have been good. Would have caused an uproar. But I commend him for having the self-control not to. I don't know that I couldn't have. I probably would have flipped it through the mic or just walked out of there. And what's even worse is, these are entertainment aspects of this sport. These riders don't get any money for that. The fact that they're required to do press conferences, yes, it's nice for us, the fans, but the fact that they get nothing from it, they don't get any profit sharing, come on. It's time, they should all 3 flip the table and walk out. And speaking of riders' character, I've been very critical of Ken Roczen. I just think this guy's kind of a dumbass. I don't like who he is as a person. I think he's kind of a narcissist. That's just my opinion. A lot of you guys get really mad when I say that, but I'm telling you what I see. I see the way he treats people and I don't like it. I wouldn't treat people the way he does. With that said, you cannot doubt Ken Roczen on a dirt bike. This dude is so talented and he's riding so good this year. He might end up being your champion. I know he's a little ways out right now, but if he continues to do this week in and week out, it's very likely that he gets that elusive Supercross championship. And he's riding a lot more aggressive. I haven't seen him do this in quite some years. Ever since he had, he stuck his hand in Cooper Webb's wheel, anytime someone gets rough with him, he just cowers like a chihuahua. Now he's fighting back a little bit. I mean, he's not going full Jason Anderson, Justin Barcia, but he is fighting back a little bit. And I have to give Ricky credit. This is the only thing he said all night that really I liked, is he said that Ken Roczen needed to park Chase Sexton. He said, it's time. It's for the championship. And I agree with him. He should have put Chase Sexton on the ground. But the way it worked out anyway, Chase Sexton hit the ground, so it didn't really end up mattering, and he did get points back. While he lost points to Webb, he gained points on one of the 2 title contenders, and he's got to keep doing that. There's a lot of rounds left. The way this sport is, a few years ago, Chase Sexton was completely out of it. We had written him off. It was between Webb and Tomac. Then Webb got hurt, then Tomac got hurt, and all of a sudden, Sexton's your champion. So if you can stay up there inside that top 3 until the very end, you always have a shot at this title. Check out Ride Strapped. Ride Strapped, best goggles, glasses, red pill shirts, and come into the Cooksey Cookout Sunday after the Daytona Supercross. If you want to register, go to cookseymob.com. And I don't know why Chris made me look so dumb in this picture, but he did. I think it's funny, but I look forward to meeting whoever wants to come meet us and hang out, bench race, have a few beverages, whatever you guys want to do. We'll hang out, have a good time from 2 to 4 on Sunday after the Daytona Supercross. Check out Precision Transport. That's pretransport.com, a family-owned business. They really take pride in getting good tracking numbers, reasonable pricing, and customer service. If you have a question, they're nice. Go figure, right? The lost art of customer service. So hit up pretransport.com. And Motobilia. These are some of the coolest memorabilia items in all of motorcycling, not just motocross and supercross, all of motorcycling. If you want to buy or sell, check out Motobilia and you can get the coolest stuff. And also they're giving away the RJ jersey, the Rick Johnson jersey at the end of this month. And then next month, we've got the Cooper Webb Red Bull helmet. Check out motobilia.com. How about Justin Hill? I like both the Hill brothers. They are good for the sport. They're fun to watch. They're just good people. And to see Justin Hill with his fitness where it is, man, I'm not saying it's too late because he's only 30. But if he had done this back when he went to the 450 class and had the kind of focus that he has right now, we'd be talking about him with the likes of Tomac, Webb. Like those are the guys he was beating in the 250 class. Those are the guys he was battling with. But to see him go be a sheriff, come back. How many guys have been able to, that late in their career, take a year off and come back and be competitive? Not very many. And while he's on the privateer team, he does have factory equipment. They rent a factory bike from KTM, kind of like the Rocky Mountain team used to do. And he gets factory equipment, but if he doesn't like certain things, he can change it. It's actually the freedom that Justin Hill kind of needs to succeed, but also the equipment that he needs to succeed. So if he keeps getting up there, I mean, Justin Hill might win one of these things. He's that good. I definitely see him getting a podium if he can keep riding like he was this weekend. Fast qualifier by like a second. Oh, that's awesome. Speaking of fast guys, Justin Cooper is fast everywhere except for the whoops. Is he secretly from Europe? Like, what's the deal? Because he can ride everything on that track. He's a great starter. He's really technical. And then he gets to the whoops. He goes through the whoops like a privateer would. Not to say the privateers aren't badass, but there's a different level when you see Kenny, Chase, Webb, and these guys who really just put it on the line in the whoops. And then you see guys like Kyle Chisholm, Shane McElrath that just don't get through the whoops as well. That's where he's at. It's crazy that he can run, with Roxon, Tomac, Sexton, all these guys everywhere but the whoops. If he can figure this out. But I want to bring something to your attention. There was a few years ago, before Webb was champion, that was the same situation he was in, and he figured it out. And now he's a two-time champion. Looks like he's on his way to possibly a third. Can Justin Cooper figure it out? Because if he does, watch for him to be a contender instantly. Jason Anderson, man, he was in a bad mood all day. I don't know if he woke up on the wrong side of the bed or what. He got into it in practice with Webb. He had that horrendous first main event where he went down. And I mean, that kind of ended his chances of a decent finish. Then he got into it with Barsha, which I didn't see a problem with that. That's just hard racing. And Barsha has hit so many people. And then the only reason it looked bad is because his foot went in Anderson's wheel. Had that foot not gone in there, that was basically a racing move. I don't see a problem with it. The fact that they put his name on the board with a check mark or give him a written warning or whatever the ridiculous punishment they did, stop it. Just stop it. That was hard racing. Had nothing to do with anything but just hard racing. If you're going to give him a name on the board, you got to put Barsha's on there for what he did to Sexton in the last turn. Very similar. And it's not situational. You can't just say one is bad because it was a different situation. That's not how the rule book reads. Stop giving these guys written warnings over stupid stuff. Now, if he had gone in there and straight torpedoed him, like Mike Alessi did to Brock Tickle back in the day, I understand. But come on. That's just hard racing. Stop trying to legislate hard racing out of the sport. Check out Alias MX gear. If you want some high quality, badass gear that right now, not a lot of people have. So if you're tired of buying gear, going to the track and seeing 3 other people with the same setup you have, go to aliasmx.com. And man, the guy that was missing this weekend is Malcolm Stewart. I mean, he was there, but I didn't really even see him, or he just got bad starts. I mean, for a guy who came from behind to win Tampa 2 weeks ago and just set the world on fire, this was disappointing. And he's got a lot to show. That Husqvarna team probably won't exist next year. KTM is doing all their restructuring, and there's a really good chance that Gas and Husqvarna just go away. So he's going to have to find a new ride, and you're not going to do it if you can just have one. That one ride was great, and that was a historic night. He's in the history books, all the things. It was awesome. But if he wants to continue to have a career while it gets harder to get a ride, he has got to prove that he can get back on the podium and battle for wins regularly. Right now, it looks like a fluke. But he's really good in Daytona, and he's really good when he gets near his hometown. So I look for Malcolm to be on the podium this weekend, and don't be shocked if he's lifting that Daytona trophy at the end of the weekend. Thank you, members. You guys are all entered in the drawing to get the RJ jersey and the Cooper Webb helmet. I want to send a special thanks to Colin Morrison for the Skivvy underwear gift pack he sent me. Pretty cool. He's coming on this week. He's an original Metal Militia member, and we're going to talk about what he's doing, how it was in the early days in the Metal Militia, where he's at now, and he's promoting sobriety. And there's a lot of us in this sport who had issues with pain pills because we have so many injuries, they put them on there. I'm excited to hear from him sharing his journey, being right there in the heart of it, and I think it will help a lot of people.